came to show out. We gonna show up. We came to show out. We gonna show up. We came to show out. We gonna show up. We came to show out. We gonna show up. We came to show out. Bring wars, Carolina. 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 RWC.
Let's go see what's going on behind these doors.
Yeah, so I just caught him at the end and hooked him, sealed the deal. And
Pulling up on Alex Bryant, Playboy. What's going on in here?
oh, man. Well, you see, after winning my first championship in Ring Wars Carolina, I had to come see the lovely Miss Sadie Rose to get a massage, because that, my friends, is championship treatment, and that is what it's like to be not only the Playboy, but the Impact player.
First, this is Xander Keys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ring Wars Carolina in the King Arena. From Lumberton, North Carolina, Stephen Hensley, Jonathan Darwin. Second half of Family Appreciation, as this young man, Xander Keys, has got his work cut out for him today.
He certainly does, and you know, he's a big boy. He certainly looks the part of a guy who can get things done. Remains to be seen what he can accomplish here in Ring Wars, though, John. This is, after all, this man's third match.
Yeah, and look who he's going up against. Probably the measuring stick, you could say, in RWC in one Victor Andrews.
Well, we're going to find out how big a boy Xander Keys is, because you are right, John. He is up against the measuring stick.
And his opponent,
Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, NXT, Raw, SmackDown. This man has been everywhere, now part of Control Your Narrative. Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. One of the toughest men here in Ring Wars Carolina. First ever RWC Triple Crown champion.
John, I want to point out right now, the big man Xander Keys, not even in the ring. He recognizes the situation he's in today. Kudos to him. He showed up for a fight, but he's not rushing in there foolishly. And as much as he wants to believe he's ready, he knows it's going to take so very much to come out with a victory today.
I tell you what, I'm looking all across the ring right now. I see Xander Keys' eyes. He gulped a little bit. He knows what he's in for. But this is the only way you get better. To challenge the biggest and the brightest here in Ring Wars.
He wants it. You can see it in his eyes, but he knows the task at hand.
This is like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Somebody's been spending time with their wicked facts.
My little boy's in the mountains right now. I had to learn.
You're a good dad.
Thank you.
Can't take that one from you. Terrible commentary partner, but a good dad.
Can't you be nice for one day?
I told you were a good dad. I thought that was...
I tell you, I'm interested to see how Xander Keys approaches this. Do you go in full force? Do you try to be a tactician? Do you try to chain wrestle with Victor Andrews? Do you try to go blow for blow?
Well, I think the one thing that you don't do is charge in on Victor Andrews. The one thing you don't do is go in blind. Because Victor Andrews, you give him one opportunity where you slip up, and it's done deal.
And Keys knows that. Moving very slow and methodical, collar and elbow tie up to get this one going. Like two big rams locking horns.
No advantage to either man in that one. Lock up again. Collar and elbow tie up, both men jockeying for position. And again, no clear advantage there, despite the fact that Xander Keys has a very clear leverage advantage.
Oh, trying to get under the skin of Xander Keys, and Xander Keys charges after Victor Andrews.
Don't argue with the referee, young man. Mistake number one.
Oh. Okay, we're seeing the psychological warfare be applied by Mr. Everything right now, and it's working.
Oh, you're right about that. Xander Keys, he wants this win, and the fact that Victor Andrews is kind of just brushing him off in his mind, that's lighting a fire under him. Good use of the power there.
And Victor Andrews down on the mat quickly, but Xander Keys taking his time and slamming Mr. Everything down to the mat.
Well, Xander Keys certainly using his tools to their fullest. He's using the leverage advantage there, and he's using his strength.
Gets caught with an elbow by Andrews, though.
Unfortunately for him, a little weak on the follow-up.
Well, this is where the experience of Mr. Everything, Mr. Andrews, comes into play. Good agility, going down. Crossbody, but gets caught! Holy cow!
Going into the strength of Xander Keys, and again, that's his tool. Not a situation you want to get caught in, and the big man, great hang time before he leveled him down on the mat.
I tell you what, this is two count only. I tell you what, Xander Keys is impressing me. He's staying toe-to-toe with one of the toughest men here in Ring Wars, Carolina.
But every time he has things going his way, he just walks into Victor Andrews. Quite literally, he walked towards him there, and Victor Andrews, in one moment, changed the complexion. He didn't do anything fancy. He didn't have to catch him while he was flying through the air. One knee to the gut was all it took.
And Victor Andrews knows that as he goes on the offensive now with those clubbing forearms.
It's the placement of everything he does. Some guys will throw a knee, but they won't hit their mark. He hits his mark every time. Nice gut wrench, brings him up.
And look at Victor Andrews there, just, taking a knee, a thigh to the solar plexus of Keys. Two count, though.
And look at the way he pressed him down there. He didn't hook the leg, but he pressed down in his face there in a way that was totally meant to make Xander Keys feel disrespected.
Yeah, Victor Andrews still playing with those head games on Keys. Even though Victor Andrews is clearly in the driver's seat, he knows he needs to keep Keys off tilt in his mind.
One thing you'll never hear me say is that Victor Andrews is slow on the follow-up. If he's slow, it's because he's taking his time, he's taking his moment, he's taking everything into account. It's not a miscalculation with him.
No, it is not. Toe kick to the midsection by Andrews now. I tell you what, being very methodical is Victor Andrews.
What do you think if you're Xander Keys right now? You're a big guy, you got the leverage, you got the strength, you got all your hopes in your back of your head, but again, third match out here. What are you thinking when you find yourself in a situation like this?
I got to find that one weakness of Victor Andrews. I don't know if one exists, and exploit it. Or, more realistically for Keys, is wait for Andrews to make that one small mistake.
I don't know if that is a realistic thought.
Okay, I'm going to turn the tables on you. If you're Keys, what are you thinking?
If I'm Keys, I tapped out in the first 2 minutes of this match. I'm not doing this. Victor Andrews is ruthless. He's the guy that can injure you. He's the guy that can stop your career third match. I didn't get in the ring today.
No, he didn't. Momentum shifter by Keys. Ramming the shoulder into Victor Andrews, following it up with a big elbow.
But he doesn't have all of anything in him right now. He's big, he's got the power, and he nailed that. John.
Going for the pin. 1, 2, what an upset. No.
John, he didn't have everything he could have behind that. Victor Andrews has laid in the groundwork, and it shows. Look at him clutching his side. That core's been dissected. That support for the body's been dissected. You can't hit anything the way you would when someone's taking away your core like that.
Absolutely not. Wait a minute.
He's
trying to get the choke slam on Andrews, but Andrews reverses.
Not enough strength behind him.
Spine buster by Victor Andrews, but wasn't enough. I don't know if Victor got all of that one.
Well, he put him down. Maybe now it's time to put him out, John.
I'm sure Victor Andrews would love to do that. I tell you what, Victor Andrews picking his moment here on Xander Keys.
Turns him around, picks him up.
As Andrews has Keys up. Waiting in for the time. Oh, wait a minute. Holy cow, Xander Keys, man, 2.
What in the actual heck? Are you kidding me?
Well, it's like I talked about. Keys was waiting for that one tiny sliver of a moment that Andrews screwed up, and he did. And
That
Xander
was the 1 in a million. Are you kidding me?
I tell you
That's
what.
not planning. That is the dumbest, blindest luck I've ever seen in my life.
Xander Keys, still undefeated, now needs to hit the quick stop and buy a lottery ticket because that was good luck. And
John, I've got to tell you right now, if I didn't see it with my own eyes here today in person, there's not a thing you could do to believe me that happened.
I tell you what, we're going to have more with Ring Wars Carolina BattleGrounds right after this.
Wow, we gonna show up. We came to wow.
RWC.
Gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall. It is a tag team match. And it is for the RWC Tag Team Championship. Coming to the ring first. Team up, Sweet Daddy Lee and Mr. Sexxxy.
The former RWC Tag Team Champions on their way to the ring, ready for this opportunity to once again become the Tag Team Champions.
And these two gentlemen certainly filling themselves today, John, but they've got their work cut out for them as they're going to be going 2-on-2 versus the Rustlers.
I know, and this is the first time Team Sexxxy has teamed up since May. But Team Sexxxy knows how to work as a tag team. RWC Tag Team Champions, TCW Tag Team Champions, UPWA Tag Team Champions. And the team they beat to win the championship, the Monstrosities, back at Homecoming 2021. That was no small feat in itself. Mr. Magnificent, Sweet Daddy D, will they be dancing once this is all said and done here at Family Appreciation Night? As you're looking at it, Steve, I know the Rustlers aren't out here yet, but who do you give the advantage to that will work better as a tandem? Team Sexxxy or the Rustlers?
I mean, John, that's apples and oranges. Like, there's arguments on both sides of that. We got the long-term tag team work of Team Sexxxy, and then we have the Rustlers, obviously, with familial ties. Like, those guys, it's one of those situations kind of hard to call, really.
Two-time RWC Tag Team Champions, the Rustlers. And congratulations to Pecos are in order. Pecos is going to be a father in 2023. You hear the fans absolutely excited to see their tag team champions. All I can think back to, though, is how the Rustlers beat Team Sexxxy for those championships. And the underhanded way they did it, but yet still being embraced by the fans, is the Rustlers. Wait a minute. Oh! Team Sexxxy getting a little new headwear.
That man ain't no cowboy. I don't care what hat he's wearing.
I think Sweet Daddy D might have a difference of words with you on that one.
I'm not saying he doesn't look cool. That guy looks cool in that hat. He ain't no cowboy. And we get this one underway. Team Sexxxy going quick on the Rustlers. Look at Waco. Waco hasn't even got his title belt off yet. And the Rustlers rolling to the outside of the ring, and that is not the way you want the contest to start off if you're the champions. Not at all.
Not at all. But Team Sexxxy knows this. They know they have to hit hard and fast if they're going to have any chance to regain their tag team championship. We're up to 3 now. I tell you what, wrestlers, if they stay on the outside, championship advantage, they'll retain. But it looks like they're finally getting to the ring apron. It'll be Mr. Magnificent starting it off for Team Sexxxy. Who will it be for the wrestlers? Little bit of rock, paper, scissors. And Waco will be starting it off here. If you're joining us for the first time, Waco, the shredded gentleman, Pecos on the outside, the skins of the team. Mr. Magnificent getting ready to measure him up. Little bit of moves by Mr. Magnificent that we're seeing here in the King Arena, Steven.
Well, he's a guy into pomp. He's into some showmanship. And we're in the opening moments. He's feeling pretty good right now. They rocked the wrestlers. They got him on the ropes, and then they got him out of the ring, running from him. It makes you feel good, but you can't let it make you feel too good.
No.
Because Waco, that's a big boy in the ring you got there.
Yeah, I mean, and Waco's coming to his own in 2022. Almost like on occasion, a default captain of the team. I mean, not to take anything away from Pecos, but Waco has seen strong growth over the past year. And wait a minute, Magnificent claiming a hair pull?
Yeah, that's if the referee actually checks on that, like really, like we're done.
Yeah.
Out the gates.
The other collar and elbow tie up here. As we see both men into the corner. If we're going to see a clean break. Wait a minute. Oh, Sweet Daddy D grabbing the cheap shot. But Magnificent saying nothing happened. Are you kidding me?
You know, John, I'm actually incredibly impressed right now that Mr. Magnificent can lift his leg up that high.
Oh, what about Sweet Daddy D lifting his leg across the throat of Waco?
I didn't expect it from Magnificent. You know, that's a guy you look at sometimes, you take him for granted. He doesn't have the typical chiseled body of a wrestler. You don't think limber coming out of the gates, but that guy, he is limber. He is agile. He is fast.
Yes, he is. I mean, for a big man, he moves. And that's where I got to give it to Mr. Magnificent.
And, you know, we've seen him before, but sometimes you still forget. You still take it for granted. And honestly, it might be one of his greatest strengths pinfall attempt. No.
Because people underestimate a big man sometimes and think they're not agile. But not Mr. Magnificent. And a tag brings in Sweet Daddy D. The referee didn't see the tag. Will he honor the tag of Team Sexxxy? Oh, my God. Sidewalk slam and a leg drop by Sweet Daddy D. Going for a pin. Very arrogant cover by Sweet Daddy D. You're not going to win titles that way, Steven.
Sometimes you win titles that way, but no, you're right. Today, you're not going to win quite like that against Waco, at least not in the early goings here.
No, and Pecos now the legal man as we see the double team applied by the tag team champions to Sweet Daddy D.
Turnover, lateral press, hook of the leg. Not even a 2 count, though.
Well, I tell you, Pecos knows that more work is going to have to be done if you're going to keep a man like Sweet Daddy D down with. But Sweet Daddy D stopping that with the jawbreaker. Now has Pecos up. Oh! Big atomic drop there. And look at this. I tell you what, it looks like Team Sexxxy is going to be the first team to cut that ring in half and keep Waco on the outside.
Magnificent's been reaching for that tag for a second there. I'm not sure if there's a breakdown in the communication here and the work between Team Sexxxy.
Oh, but a blind tag brings in Mr. Magnificent finally. But look at this.
Perhaps I was making too much there. It seems like they're right back on the same page.
Yeah, using any shortcut they can. A little disappointed to see stuff like that out of Mr. Magnificent.
Nice side flying leg to the face of Pecos.
Going for that pin. 1, 2, no.
Again, kind of slow on the follow-up for the pin attempt.
Just a little.
Surprising in a tag team title match.
Oh, Pecos, though, I tell you what, he got a little bit of a stomp off and a fist, taking it to Sweet Daddy D. And I tell you, that rocked Sweet Daddy D right off the ring skirt, which is what the wrestlers needed.
Well, things certainly going the way of the Cowboys right now.
Yes, they are. And the tag will bring
Back
Waco.
bing.
Yes, bring Waco back in.
There you go. You got it out.
Thank you. But I tell you, look at Mr. Magnificent. Good experience by Magnificent to hold on to the ropes to stop from getting slingshotted around. Well, the wrestlers now.
Unfortunately for him, it doesn't stop the big man from just standing on top of him and crushing that air out.
No, it does not. Wait a minute. I tell you, Waco may be wanting to be careful there, not wanting to get disqualified by the referee. I mean, yeah, you'll retain the title, but you put Team Sexxxy right back in the championship picture.
You know, John, you were asking me earlier here about the advantage in teamwork, and I don't think it comes down to who can work better as a team. And arguably, both sets of men out here work well as a team. But if we're talking about the difference maker, what might be the Achilles heel, I'll grudgingly say for both teams it might be the anger of Wacos and Pecos, and it might be the arrogance of Team Sexxxy.
What?
But those are the only distractions they have going.
Yeah, and Team Sexxxy, I tell you what, very close 2 count, but had Waco not been in the ring, you could have seen new tag team champions. And the boots being applied now is Mr. Magnificent in the wrong corner.
Picture time on the outside here for Wacos. He never misses an opportunity to mug for the camera.
No, he doesn't. And Pecos, oh, look at that, stopping Mr. Magnificent from being able to get over to Sweet Daddy D.
And just pulls Magnificent to the outside, sends him into the post. And that's one way to ring the bells going into the holiday season.
Yes, it is. And Magnificent has his bell rung a little bit. And, oh, look at that. Waco acting like he's all concerned.
I mean, he is concerned. He wants to get that. He wants to get his opponent back into the ring for the pinfall attempt.
And 1, 2, oh. He wasn't too concerned when he rammed Mr. Magnificent's head into the ring post. As we see now. Look at Pecos. He's getting frustrated. He needs to stay focused. Especially now as we see. Oh, I'll tell you what, Magnificent got caught. I thought Magnificent was getting ready to come on back. Going for that pin. 2. Sweet Daddy D in to break it up.
The referee needs to get him back outside. That shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have. I'll concede that point, Steve. Wait a minute.
Well, a tag by the wrestlers.
Or what they thought was going to be a tag, but it looks like looks like Pecos is still in the ring. I don't know what the plan was there.
I'm not entirely sure, but they still managed to work their way into the heads of Team Sexxxy. And Sweet Daddy D, he's coming unglued right now. I mean, this is quite the reaction.
Yeah, it's not normal for Sweet Daddy D to lose his composure. Oh, look at the wrestlers.
I mean, it is a tag team championship match, and he's really focused on winning the championship right now. I'm sure he's mad. He doesn't want to see his partner choked. He doesn't want to be in a trouble situation, but I believe he's causing his partner more problems than he is aiding at the moment.
Well, that's a very valid point, Steven, as we're seeing now.
That was about a 20-second choke. I mean, seriously, guy, get it together.
Yeah. Mr. Magnificent trying to gasp for the oxygen that he needs. And wait a minute. Oh, what a right hand by Mr. Magnificent. But look at that. Magnificent right back down on the canvas. I don't know if Magnificent's caught his breath yet. But he needed that right hand on Pecos.
Pecos and Magnificent, both men moving very slow right now. Magnificent and arguably in the greater trouble spot, having been in there for quite a bit of time so far, John.
Yeah, we have.
Wrong corner, Magnificent.
Oh.
What are you doing, bro?
But finally gets the right way to Sweet Daddy D.
I can't believe he had enough time. Sweet Daddy D comes in. Fresh man in the ring. House of Fire. Back elbow clothesline. Going right back over Waco. Picks up the big man and a slam down on him. Going after Pecos. Picks him up as well. One more big slam for good measure. And this is the moment that Team Sexxy's been waiting on.
Yeah, Sweet Daddy D knows it. Running like a rock of fire. 1, 2, no! I tell you what, that crossbody would have been all of it had Pecos not been in the ring. Magnificent knows it. Magnificent tossing Pecos out like yesterday's trash.
Pecos on the outside. Waco, he's in the ring now. He's stuck with Team Sexxy. Team Sexxy, they're signaling for the end here.
They think they got it.
They're filling the moment. They might want to feel their way to getting a hold of their opponent, though.
Wait a minute. And look at Pecos.
Going around, they're both unaware.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Pecos.
Sunset flip inside of the ring.
Oh, wait a minute, Sweet Daddy D finds a way to get out. Oh, no.
He gets caught, double leg takedown.
Could we be seeing it?
Hee-haw seesaw time.
Yes, sir, Bob. Going for the pin.
Lateral press. That's going to be all.
The wrestlers retaining here. Little bit of miscommunication by Team Sexxy there at the end. Allowed the wrestlers to be victorious. Congratulations, they live to fight another day. And speaking of fighting, you're not going to want to go anywhere. An unsanctioned match between Playboy Tripp and Nite-Stic Eddie Brown. We'll have more Ring Wars Carolina Battlegrounds right after this.
Listen to Smash the Man podcast. The reason I listen to it, because I'm an Anderson.
Hello everybody, this is Melina and you're watching Smash the Mat podcast.
Hey, this is Real Heaven of Smash the Mat podcast.
Look at that!
If you're looking for a wrestling podcast that covers the majors as well as the independents, look no further than the Smash the Mat podcast.
The very best in talk wrestling. Available on streaming platforms including YouTube and Apple Podcasts.
Also follow us on social media.
Smash the Mat.
Wow, we gonna show up. We came to wow. RWC.
It gets a little weird because if you guys have been following us, you guys know about the issues that we've been having with Nite-Stic Eddie Brown. So that issue has been taken completely out of RWC's hands and has now been put into a non-sanctioned match. So what that means is RWC is no longer liable from this point on. So, you are correct. We have no liability with this. So, as Dex Carter, I would like to introduce you guys to the non-sanctioned match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall. And as Dex Carter has said, this is an unsanctioned match. Coming to the ring first.
We're back here. Ring Wars Carolina, main event. Former owner of Ring Wars Carolina, Nite-Stic Eddie Brown, in this unsanctioned match. RWC will have no liability in this one. You hear the jeers.
to do. And you know, that would get to another man. Heck, it might even get to Eddie Brown, except that guy, he's got his game face on, he's got his game music on. I gotta tell you, man, as much as I worry for Eddie sometimes in these high-profile situations, you know, because he's my boy, we're friends.
Right.
He pays me more than you.
What?
Like, this music, this is like the most chill music that I could imagine walking out to for a fight. It puts me in the zone, it puts me in the mindset of a championship caliber athlete, a main event caliber athlete, and a man. And Eddie Brown, you know, he's many things, but at the end of the day, he's a guy that's been the man quite often in this game.
That is true. Former 4-time RWC heavyweight champion. He's worked with WWF, WCW, ECW, TNA Wrestling, trained by Steve Corino, former NWA World's heavyweight champion, who is now a trainer at the Performance Center. So Eddie Brown has the knowledge and the skills, and he knows it. The question is, can Playboy Tripp step up?
Well, evidently we're waiting for a moment. I'm down. Let's hear Eddie. Let's hear him out.
Oh, brother.
Why are the fans chanting for Eddie's socks?
They're not chanting for his socks.
I can very clearly hear them.
You need to, and I thought I had the hearing problems.
Oh, Eddie's a little sleepy. He a tired boy. Just, what are we looking at here? Does he power napping before this thing starts? Get the energy back, recharge the fuel cells.
Making Tripp wait.
Eddie's just his time frame, I suppose.
You know, I could lay in this ring all night long, drinking my Nite-Stic dirty water, listening to a bunch of babbling pieces of crap, yelling for somebody who's not even in the building all night long. So, all y'all just witnessed me lay down in this ring, right? Right? Because that's the last time you're going to see my back on this canvas.
Bold words by the former owner of RWC.
Well, he's a bold man, John.
So as long as this punk is yelling, we're not even going to start cheering. This is an unsanctioned match. That means I don't work for Ring Wars Carolina. That means I have no rules, no regulations. I can do what I want to do, pretty much. And that also means if I have to come out here and start from this row and slap each and every one of you guys all the way down to this section, it can happen, and it can happen tonight. So I suggest, and this is purely a suggestion for this section, you know, the last time I was in this ring and I stepped down in this section, somebody got killed in that section. This very easily can be this section. Shut up! So, I'm like, you guys are boring. Come on with something different. Other than that, I draw the line at that one. Dex, step on out here, Dex. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come on. I'm not gonna hurt you. So, the guy in the back, he's been trying to get a little team from out here. I stopped him. I'm gonna turn the magic stick on you. See what I did there? See, that went all over you guys' head. You have no idea what just happened. Now, you can bring him out. You can try. Unless he's in your pocket. Unless he's in his pocket. Well, let's just be honest. He's a fan who wanted to be in the ring, and I put him in his place last month. And if there's any other fans that want to jump in this ring, the lights are on now. Huh? You don't sit your skinny butt down, boy. I'll break you in half. I will break you in half, and you won't have to worry about making no more little ones. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Because I'm telling you now, I slapped million women in the day. Gotta check my profile on Google. Alright, so let's do this. I ain't got all night. We got 10 seconds.
So, we have not seen Tripp yet. So, I am going to instruct our ref because Tripp has till the count of 10 to show up in this ring for this match. Referee, if you can go ahead and commence your count, please, sir.
Tripp has till the count of 10 to enter, where Nite-Stic Eddie Brown will walk away with the win by default.
Yeah, John, do we have a clue what's going on with Tripp? Like, has anyone seen him? Has anyone heard from him?
Not to my knowledge. We're up to 8 now. No, what?
Are you serious?
Wow.
Wait, did that just happen?
I'm sorry, guys. Because of the count out, we have to announce the winner of this match.
Wait a minute.
Well, John, quite literally, the ground beneath me is shaking.
Yeah. Well, Eddie Brown thinks he's got it, but it looks like it's going to get ready to continue. Playboy Tripp only needed a couple additional seconds there. Wait a minute. Oh, look where he's coming. Straight through the fans is Playboy Tripp.
Wait, what the hell is happening out here? I thought this was a wrestling match. Is this the full Monty?
Well, this is an unsanctioned match, so I guess it's...
Well, this is certainly unsanctioned. It's right next to Unholy from where I'm standing.
Yeah.
Just degenerate activity from Tripp and the fans here at Ring Wars Carolina. This is deplorable.
Well, I tell you what,
I wish Eddie'd go out and slap that woman.
Now that's horrible to say, Steve. All right, security escorting Playboy Tripp to the ring. And
well, there is showboating, John, and then there is showboating. And this, my friend, is some next-level showboating. I've got to say, this is really disrespectful to a guy like Eddie Brown,
okay, let's
who's
talk
never
about,
showboated a day in his life.
No. Let's talk about disrespectful. Tripp threw a little popcorn at Eddie Brown at Nightmare on 2nd Street.
What a piece of crap.
And Eddie Brown attacked Tripp.
It's justified. He hit him with a foreign object.
Popcorn is a foreign object?
I have it on good authority that popcorn came in from Canada. Ergo, not an American product in an American ring. It is a foreign object.
Yeah, but it does not deserve the beatdown that Eddie Brown gave.
That is a point of view, my friend. That is a point of view. Eddie Brown going right after his opponent. Tired of the showboating and the shenanigans. Eddie Brown, he's not the kind of guy to rely on things like that. He's a guy who goes right after someone during a match. There's no room in professional wrestling for a guy who wants to jaw jack and just showboat with the fans and show off. You know, we're on a schedule here. Eddie Brown wouldn't throw us off schedule. He's never done such a thing.
No, he's not. I will concede that point. When Eddie Brown was owner of Ring Wars Carolina, the trains did run on time.
I wish one of the trains would have ran into you.
Oh, that's terrible. Is Eddie Brown going to let Tripp get in the ring? What? I don't follow it. I don't follow it all. The Tripp taking his time. Is Eddie Brown going to be backed up by the referee? Wait a minute, Tripp coming over the crossbody.
Well, that was quite literally. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it went from a crossbody to a Luthez press.
Sending Eddie Brown off the ropes. Hits a clothesline.
Oh, Eddie Brown back down on that canvas already, saying he wasn't going to be tonight. Tripp measuring him.
Well, Tripp going right after Nite-Stic. He's gone back up, going to send him across the ring. Eddie Brown comes off the ropes, and runs right into another clothesline.
Yeah, and Tripp, Unsanctioned might be able to choke and tossing Eddie Brown out onto the floor there.
Might be able to do a lot, but one thing that they haven't been able to do so far is focus.
Not at all. And Steve, I know I'm usually up on things, but in an unsanctioned match, there is no countout, correct? I mean, it's been a while since I checked the RWC rulebook, especially when it comes to the subsection on unsanctioned matches.
Well, John, the referee is telling him to get back in the ring, but that's purely so this thing can get back underway.
Okay, we are starting the count.
Well, Jonathan, to answer your question, in an unsanctioned match, what it essentially is at the end of the day, pending whatever rules are set forth for it, is a situation where the company quite literally takes no responsibility for what may occur during the match.
And Dex Carter did iterate those words earlier this evening.
You know, I can't blame them. These are two guys, they've had beef for a while. You said it took a popcorn kernel to start this thing off.
Yeah.
And it's turned into a blood feud. Who wants to take responsibility for a blood feud?
Yeah, and see, Tripp waived his right to sue RWC over what happened because he got this match against Nite-Stic Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown leering at the fans. I hope Eddie's not thinking about going after another one. I can't believe what we're seeing. Eddie stinks. I can't tell from here. Okay, an 8 count now.
You know, you got to give credit to the referee here. He's really giving some leniency on that count. One of the slowest 10 counts I've ever witnessed.
I tell you what, I haven't seen Eddie in the air like that for 1, 2, no. And yeah, Steve, I'll give you that point. He doesn't The referee doesn't want to see this end in a count out. Oh, what a DDT!
And you got to give it to Tripp. He's staying on top of Eddie right now.
2 count, though.
Stop jaw-jacking with the ref. Stay on top of him. You might get the W.
And that's what Tripp needs to do. Whipping Eddie Brown over into the corner is Tripp coming in there, following it up. As we see, Tripp whipping away on Eddie Brown, gets another clothesline, and down goes Eddie like a sack of potatoes. As Tripp continues just whipping Eddie Brown away, and oh!
Went to the well too many times. Eddie Brown, nice hip toss into the corner there, or at least nearly into the corner. However, Tripp's leg did get caught on that rope there. Remains to be seen if that did any damage to it.
And I tell you, the damage has been done to Eddie. I don't think he would have thought Tripp would have got those 2 clotheslines. Plus, look at the way that Eddie's nursing his back. What in the world is Nite-Stic Eddie doing? What?
Well, he's standing on the back of his neck right now, and that's not a bad strategy.
No.
Tripp's foot, I believe, is under the rope there. That's the reason for the referee starting the 5 count. I'm surprised Eddie broke it so quick.
Yeah. Well, I think he wanted to get Tripp in there so Eddie wouldn't potentially get disqualified over something so simple. As we see Eddie Brown now, right hand away.
Eddie taking a lot of time here. I think Tripp did quite a bit of damage early on.
Yeah, I think that Eddie, while well-conditioned, may have underestimated Tripp coming into this one. Going for the pin is Brown. 2.
I hate to say it, but that was a very lackadaisical lateral press coming from Eddie.
You figure somebody with more experience would know better.
He got in there, he got the hook of the leg, but not really like the aggressive hook of the leg that we've seen from him in the past.
Not at all. You see Nite-Stic Eddie Brown now. 3 count. And I tell you, Eddie, I thought he would have gone for the whole 4 count. But Eddie Brown staying right on top of Tripp. And if there's anybody who knows how to exploit that potential 5 count, it's Eddie Brown. As we see here, Eddie Brown stopping at 4, going back again. And there's nothing to stop him from doing it.
There's a 5 count, but yeah, he's pretty much got things going his way right now. He can dictate it, and all he has to do is step off and back on. That's all it takes.
This is true. And Eddie Brown knows that. Eddie Brown knows how to exploit that rule book. Eddie Brown verbally berating the fans of the King Arena.
To be fair, the fans are verbally berating Eddie Brown.
Hey, that's expected. You buy a ticket, you can say what you want. Eddie Brown coming in and gets a clothesline off on Tripp. And you see Eddie Brown, with another clothesline. Tripp leaned against the ropes there. Eddie Brown knows it. Look at the way that Eddie Brown is staying on top of Tripp here. Eddie Brown.
Oh, he's going for it.
Oh, my God, what a super kick.
I don't know that I've ever seen Eddie do a super kick.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't see Eddie Brown wrestle as often as he used to. So when you see something out of him, it's unexpected. And you see Eddie Brown now just biding his time in the ring. Eddie Brown being dismissive of Playboy Tripp. The 4 count. 7. Tripp on rubber legs. Wait a minute. Oh, thought we were going to get another fan involved. Wait a minute. Look at this young man coming in. What is this?
Well, John, I have no idea what's happening here.
I think he's coming to the rescue of Tripp. I don't know who the young man is. I think maybe a relative. Oh, my God! Eddie Brown tossed that poor kid inside out.
Well, John, irregardless of who that kid is here to help, he has no business in this contest. This is not the place for fans. Not in a ring, behind the guardrail, yes. In the ring, absolutely not. What are you doing?
Come on, Eddie. Even he has to know. That's a kid.
Irrelevant. That kid got in the ring in a man's match to make an argument for another man that he was going to stop something from happening. Absolutely no place out there he got what he deserved. You go out there and you dare to put your hands on a wrestler, that's what you get. I don't care who you are. I don't care why it happened. You want to know who's at fault for what that kid did? His parents. His parents should have kept him the heck back. And where are they now? Nowhere to be seen, and that explains a lot.
Well, Tripp helping the young man back. That young man's going to need medical attention, serious medical attention.
And the referee allowing this young man to stay ringside questioned that decision for 50 different legal reasons, but here we are.
Hey, unsanctioned. So I guess the young man is going to be allowed to be outside. And
that has nothing to do
Eddie
with
Brown,
someone who isn't employed by the company. I do not understand it.
I just thought about it. With an unsanctioned match, Eddie Brown is not liable for that assault on a young man.
That's absolutely not the way the legal system works, but sure.
And Tripp definitely on. Well, I tell you, I thought he was going to be on fire. You see Eddie Brown. Finally, Tripp getting the best of Nite-Stic Eddie Brown.
Quite literally tripping him up there.
Yes. Eddie Brown getting ripped off the ropes. Coming off again and, double clothesline. Both men exhausted. You hear the fans trying to get Tripp motivated. There is something to be said when you hear that name of yours being chanted. The edge it gives you psychologically, partially physically, if that adrenaline gets flowing. And that's what we're seeing here. Can Tripp get up?
Well, Tripp struggling to get to his feet. So's Nite-Stic Eddie Brown. Right hand to the side of Eddie Brown's head. That's going to bring him back down. Eddie Brown, though, with a right of his own.
And both men now only on their knees.
And thus far this match, for everything that's happened, no man at any point sustaining an edge over top of the other one.
No, not at all. I mean, both men exhausted beyond measure at this point. But Tripp trying to get a strike in. Does measure it. Eddie dazed and confused. Tripp with another one. But Eddie Brown, he's still on his feet. Oh no! Oh, Tripp accidentally hit the referee. Oh, no.
Well, this is a situation for him. Of course, the whole match has been a situation for both men.
Yeah, and both men know it. Well, Eddie Brown definitely knows it now. Oh! There's no referee to do anything about any of this.
Gut wrench by Eddie Brown.
Maybe.
Well, nearly a gut wrench. A lot of time being wasted here.
But Eddie knows the referee's out, so why not take your time and get that?
Okay. Did we wind back the clock here? I haven't seen that ever. Is that something that Eddie used to do when we saw him more?
No. Wait a minute. Here comes another referee. Come on.
Okay,
wait a minute. That kid.
Are you kidding me?
No, come on.
Yo, this kid really belongs out here, John.
No. I tell you what, after that, that young man should be ejected. I don't understand that at all by that young man.
I understand very little of what's happening right now. But here's what I do know. That kid wants to do something like that. When Eddie Brown has things going his way, he's going to get another receipt.
That is...
I don't know what happens when you assault a minor in Ring Wars Carolina, but Eddie Brown will deal with that later. He has boatloads of money, and I'm sure he has a good lawyer.
I'm sure he does. But Tripp's getting up. Eddie's arguing with the young man. And Tripp Wait a minute, Tripp. Can he get?
Eddie's got a hold of the rope. Tripp fighting for him, though. He gets him down. Nails him face first into the mat.
Yeah, but the referee is still unconscious.
Well, you can count all day here in theory. Doesn't matter. You know, John, for a contest like this, the way this is going, at this point, we really need to have 3 referees out here.
Yeah. Oh! And straight into the canvas, Eddie goes. But there's no one to count the pinfall, even if Tripp does go for it.
Well, the fans, bloodthirsty as they are, no referee out here to count anything, but they are perfectly content to watch Tripp take advantage of the situation.
Yes, they are. Can Tripp get it off again? He does.
That's 3 times. He's dropped Eddie Brown 3 times. Eddie Brown's been driven face first into that mat. 3 times his skull's been crushed. But still,
there's
no one out.
No one to count the pin. And see, Dex Carter can't do anything about this. Unsanctioned match.
I mean, in theory, Dex Carter could probably come out and attempt to count the pinfall himself. I don't see him volunteering himself for that, though.
Wait a minute.
I mean, what are the rules? As you said, unsanctioned. A lot of stuff being allowed here that, quite frankly, should not be allowed in a contest, even unsanctioned.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this isn't no disqualification in spite of itself.
No, and the young man back up on the ring skirt. The Tripp apologizing to the referee for what happened.
I don't.
Eddie Brown.
Does anyone have control of this?
Not at this point. Wait a minute, Eddie. Holy cow, look at that kick fly.
Flying head scissors him into the turnbuckles. Tripp going for the pin.
And that's all she wrote for Nite-Stic Eddie Brown.
John, there are travesties, and then there's outright robbery. And this, my friend, is a robbery.
I gotta agree with you a little bit, Steve. I mean, the second ref did come out to do their job.
Celebrate your victory as much as you want, Tripp, but at the end of the day, keep this nugget in the back of your head. You didn't win this. Your young cohort out here delivering the last move of the match. I question if you can hold your head up as a man. I look to Eddie Brown. That's the guy who I see as a winner, a guy who kept his character throughout.
And this young man celebrating with Playboy Tripp. That'll wrap things up here for Family Appreciation Night in the King Arena for Stephen Hensley. This is the voice of tradition, Jonathan Darwin, saying thank you. We'll join you again next time.